I have a feeling this is going to be my last pregnancy update for numerous reasons. I don't know if I did a pregnancy update last week. I'm so delirious now, guys. Like, I don't know if it's been 2 weeks or what, but I'm currently 38 weeks and 6 days pregnant. So I'm going to be 39 weeks tomorrow, which pretty much leaves me with a week before my due date. It's the 20th of June and I'm due on the 28th, which is exactly a year since my appendectomy, which is kind of crazy. And it's really weird, I still can't wrap my head around the fact that, you know, I'm going to be in hospital around the same time of year, but for a completely different reason. And obviously it's a better reason because, you know, I'm not dying this time, instead I will be bringing life into the world. A lot has happened though. A lot has happened, you know, like in the past, I think 2 weeks. I don't know when I last did a pregnancy update. I think the last pregnancy update I did was 37 weeks, I think it was. That means it's been about 37, almost 2 weeks. Everything's just gone absolutely crazy, really crazy the past. I'm so delirious, I can't even think like straight about like what day it is. It's so strange. The past couple of weeks I've had a really bad morning sickness again, which really sucks. It's like I get woken up by my nausea and I have to eat like a bowl of Cheerios, otherwise it's just like unbearable, like the horrible stomach cramp that I get. I've noticed that Athena basically kicks up a massive fuss too if I try and ignore, you know, that nauseous like hunger, and it's like that leads to like a Braxton Hicks contraction, and it's really strange, like really strange. So I pretty much just get up, go downstairs, no matter what time it is in the morning. It could be about 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 10 in the morning. If I get that horrible nauseous feeling, I have to go downstairs and I have to get a bowl of Cheerios and I sit there half asleep eating them, shoveling them into my mouth, and then I get back in bed and try and get a little bit more rest. I've had a really disturbed sleeping pattern too, which is kind of sending me a little bit, not like mental, but kind of like just exhausted. Even more exhausted than usual. And up until yesterday I was getting up and still house hunting basically, and you'd think that I would have stopped by now, but no, I haven't. I just kept looking and looking and looking and looking. My determination has finally paid off, which is really awesome. Like, all of the house hunting I was doing in my area was becoming really unsuccessful because no matter where I looked, you know, no matter what properties I went to view, there was always something really wrong with the property. So like, it would be damp, or there would be like a really loud main road that's pretty much unbearable. And if you've got like a crying infant to bear in mind, which I will soon have, a really loud main road was just really off-putting to me. Like, you know, a quiet main road I could deal with, it was just too loud basically. Nope. Everything in my area was pretty much overpriced. No matter where I looked, everything was overpriced, really teeny tiny, there was damp, there was cracks in the walls, like, you know, all kinds of things that were wrong. So yeah, no matter what, long story short, everything was overpriced in my area. You know, we weren't having any luck. You know, then we would find somewhere, I would inquire about it. You know, I was on like Rightmove and I was just like, I was checking Rightmove 24/7 and it was becoming a little bit obsessive. And as soon as something came up that was remotely like, you know, doable or looked remotely like fine, like okay, I was straight on the phone to the estate agent, just trying my hardest to find somewhere, and it was becoming really stressful. And then a property got listed, not necessarily in my area, but a little bit more closer to Manchester. And it wasn't an area I necessarily wanted to live in, but I thought to myself, you know, I'm going to inquire about it and I'm going to go and view it because it's decently priced, and it was 3-bedroom, which I thought was quite peculiar for the price. So I decided to just inquire about this property, like, you know, off a whim, because it was 3-bedroom, which I thought was quite peculiar and quite lucky, but yeah, really decently priced. Like, it was the same price as a 2-bedroom. So I was kind of like, huh, well, I'll inquire about it just in case, and I'll go and check it out and I'll see, you know, what it's like. And we went to view it yesterday, and they were in the middle of like redecorating, so there was no carpets, you know, the stairs didn't have any carpets and like blah de da da. But straight away I could see the potential in it, and it was so decently priced. And I went upstairs and the rooms were spacious, and I was really shocked by how spacious the rooms were. The kitchen's quite small, and like, you know, the bathroom is basically 2 rooms. It's like a toilet with a door, like a really tiny cubicle, and then a shower bath thing with a sink in a separate room, which is quite odd, but I'm not going to complain at this stage because I could see the potential. And I was shocked that it had a front garden and a back garden. This was really like lucky, because I've been looking at flats and stuff for more or less the same price, and I was just like shocked. Straight away I turned to Niall and I said, I'm gonna go for this one because, you know, if it's still available by the time we get home, we should definitely go for it. And it's not in my area, it's a bit closer to Manchester, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because this means that I can get to Manchester easier and ba-di-da-di-da, so it'll probably work out better in the end. So I put the deposit down for that yesterday, and now it's a case of waiting while they do the credit check and stuff like that. But I have perfect credit, so I can't imagine that would fall through. So it's a case of, I've done that now. Now they'll speed up the process because they have a tenant, and hopefully we'll be able to get a move-in date soon. And I have no idea how this is going to coincide with Athena's arrival, because it seems that ever since I put the deposit down yesterday, all of my symptoms have just become so much more like there. And I really thought she was going to come last week. I ended up in hospital last week, because a lot of you guys will know if you follow me on Instagram and my Facebook page, because I was getting really bad tightenings and it was stronger than like Braxton Hicks and they were closer together, so I was like under the impression I could have been possibly going into labour. And what happened was I went to my antenatal appointment at the hospital and I went to the toilet and I sat on the toilet and I started to get these really like strong cramping feelings that I'd never had before, and they weren't Braxton Hicks. So I was like, whoa, what is that? I ended up having to phone the hospital while being in the hospital so that a midwife could come and help me off the toilet because I just couldn't move, and it was kind of scary, to be honest. I was kind of like, is this it? So when that happened, they wanted to send me to like the triage, the maternity triage, but that was full, so I ended up upstairs on like, you know, the maternity unit, a place, whatever. And the room next to me, which was like, you know, full of pregnant women on like bouncy balls and things like that. It was crazy because while I was there, all of the women in that room went into labour at the same time, while I was lying there with one of those things monitoring like Athena's heartbeat and like my contractions basically. So I was thinking, am I next? Is this gonna jinx me? But long story short, they turned around and told me that what I was experiencing was probably like my body preparing itself for like the real thing. And they said that it could last for a week, it could last for 2 weeks, you know, it could last even longer than that. But they said that basically my body was doing the right thing, but I could also like go sooner than that depending on how fast my body progresses and blah blah blah. So I was kind of like, whoa. And I was under the impression she was going to come last week, because when that happened I was like, right, this is it now, she's going to be coming soon. So I panicked and I made sure I had everything ready, and you know, I started to stress out a little bit more as well. You know, after getting all those tightenings in that one go, everything seemed to kind of like go a bit more back to normal, and I started to just have mild period cramps again, and nothing really that was that intense. And I went to my midwife appointment and she measured me, and I spoke to her about like, you know, the period cramps I've been getting, all of my symptoms, and she turned around and told me that everything was normal for how far along I was, and that, you know, she could come anytime and just to be prepared and things like that. Crazy times. So ever since like the cramps have been getting moderately worse, I've been using a lot more lavender. Lavender has really been helping me at the moment. And when I say lavender, I mean like the pure essential oil lavender. I recently repurchased another bottle of pure lavender, like the pure essential oil. The pure essential oil, and it's 100ml. It was off Amazon for like a tenner, which I thought was really good. So if you're into like lavender and you want the real thing and you don't want to fork out like 35 quid for a 100ml bottle, get on Amazon. Really awesome. It's like a few drops of this in my foot bath, which I was doing originally anyway, mixed with the peppermint stuff from the Body Shop. Is really nice for like, you know, the oedema, which I apparently have, which a lot of pregnant women apparently get, you know, the swollen feet thing. And it's like sometimes they feel really like tight and harsh and horrible at the end of the day. And that's really been helping me. I also bought 2 things from the Body Shop too, like 2 more things from the Body Shop. I'm pretty much buying the Body Shop out at the moment. I got the Divine Calm Relaxing Massage Oil, which is lavender and chamomile. So Niall's been rubbing my back with this the past couple of nights. That's really been helping me like get into a deeper sleep, because I've been really struggling to sleep at the moment. You know, turning over, I feel like I've got watermelon stuck to my belly. It's really hard. It's really uncomfortable now. I'm really starting to struggle. Like I was already struggling anyway, but I'm really struggling now. Like nothing prepares you for this unless you've been through it before. It doesn't matter how many times people turn around to you and say, oh, just wait until this, wait until that. Like you won't understand until you feel it. You know, and your body could react in a completely different way to the way someone's telling you it will react, if that makes sense. Everything went absolutely crazy today. Like I thought I was going into labour last night, so I got to use my Deep Sleep Comforting Milk Bath Float. This has got chamomile and a little bit of lavender in it. I'll talk you through what happened to me last night / this morning. A lot of you will probably know about this as well if you have me on Facebook. I feel like I say that in all of my videos. I may be sat in front of a camera right now just like talking to you guys, but I don't feel right. It's really strange. It's like, I just wanted to like make this update because I really do think this is going to be my last one. I'd be very surprised if there's an update after this, because I do think that everything's going to get even more intense in the next couple of days. Can't wait, a little bit of a distraction, so I put a bit of makeup on. I haven't bothered with my hair, I can't be bothered. I just thought I'm going to make this video, otherwise, you know, there will be no more updates, and then afterwards it'll be my labour story. I got tightenings that started at 4:30 in the morning. This is what I've wrote on my phone, I'll just read this to you so it's more straightforward. Tightenings started at 4:30 AM. Lying on side with mild period cramping, which is progressively getting stronger and really hurting. Changed position and pain continued that felt like aggressive fetal movements. Come downstairs to eat Cheerios because I'm feeling really nauseous. Back pain has increased, tummy is going hard and Athena is moving a lot as well. Feels like pulling sensation downwards, like I have a rock and a piece of string. Like a piece of string was attached to the baby, pulling her downwards a bit. That's kind of how it felt. Slight urge to poo a bit, just keeping it real. Feeling a bit nauseous even though I ate a bowl of Cheerios. Spoke to midwife, paracetamol at 5:22 AM. Basically I phoned the hospital because I started to panic a little bit. I started to feel really not right. I was really uncomfortable and I wasn't breathing through them as well as I normally do, like, you know, braxton hicks. So it kind of felt like more full-on contractions. She turned around and told me that the reason I was feeling the way I was feeling was because I was getting contractions and then Athena was, you know, going into a ball, you know, like, because what it does is apparently when you have a contraction, it'll like tighten your whole belly and then like squish the baby and push the baby down a little bit. And it's kind of like, it's kind of hard to explain, but what she was saying was that's why it kind of felt as though I was getting a pain and then the baby was moving a bit because she was being squished and then stretching out a bit. It's quite common for babies to be active during this process, especially if you're in early labour. So she turned around and told me to keep an eye on my contractions, and that once they started coming every so many minutes and blah da da da, to go to the hospital basically. She told me to run a bath, take some paracetamol and just try and relax. So that's what I did. And I used the Deep Sleep milk bath float from the Body Shop. And I had that bath this morning and it was just like, it relieved a lot of the back pain, but at the same time it's like, it was strange. It's like, it didn't stop the tightenings, but it calmed them down a lot. I don't know, it was strange. It's like it kind of made me feel more sick, but then I started to feel like I was going to fall asleep in the bath. So I got out of the bath, got into bed, and I just told myself to try and sleep. I was feeling so relaxed as well because the bath stuff was really relaxing. But every time I closed my eyes, I kind of just felt like a little person on like a heavy spoon, if that makes sense. Like, I just kind of felt really like, bleh, just not good, basically. And then that eventually led to me like throwing up, which wasn't fun, like aggressively throwing up. So all the Cheerios came up at about 6:34 in the morning. And then once I threw up, I just pretty much like got back in bed and went to sleep. And you know, the contractions had like stopped and I just felt really achy and still a bit nauseous and just exhausted, but like this urge to sleep which was overwhelming. And it just felt like it took me ages to get into a deep sleep, but then when I did, I slept like, you know, solid for a few hours, which was nice. And I haven't really had any contractions since, just a few tightenings and the overall feeling that something's happening and I can't quite put my finger on it. So I've been trying to take it easy all day, but at the same time I've been trying to keep myself really distracted. So it's kind of just been really crazy. It's like I've been trying to kind of keep on top of things because I'm the type of person, if I don't keep on top of things, I fall behind. You know, I can be very motivated and determined to do things, but it's just like if I don't stick by my own word, I won't follow through, if that makes sense. I can also successfully cross my arms now, like easy. So that's how much she's dropped. Also, for the past 2 nights, I've had the worst toothache ever, like ever. Also, another thing that happened is Yaya came back, woohoo! And I really missed her. We've been soaking our feet together and bonding a little bit, and she's taken a lot of stress and the weight off my shoulders, you know. Just being around has helped so much. I feel like I'm coming to the end of the road now. Like, you know, I feel like this is mentally and emotionally and physically just at a peak. And it's about to just go poof. And I really do think that she's going to come soon. Another reason why I really wanted to do this video now. I really don't think there is going to be another pregnancy update. If there is, I'll eat my own words, but I have a very strong feeling that this is the last update there's going to be. Hey, there might be one more yet, we don't know. I keep everyone updated on my Facebook page and my Instagram. I'm always on Instagram, and that's all I have got to say. So I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye. She really has dropped now because she's hanging over. Really soon. I don't even know. Last pregnancy dance. Woo-doo-doo-doo-doo.